All right. Yes, we are still. I'm sure you're growing, so I want you to also consider where we stopped because we said that the challenges that you're going to be facing is because you are a property to the people that you are serving, and it is demanded of you to do the best and give people the best. One of the things I want to really emphasize, you must have to actually deal with selfishness to be able to become an effective leader. And you must do that consciously so that you deal with yourself from the areas that you are suffering. So ego has to go. I have my own life to live, has to go. I don't want people to stress me. They have to go because we're going to be dealing with people, and the best you can do is to serve. Give your life, burn your life, and have the best that's going to come. Today, I'm going to be talking to you on effective leaders actually are empowered individuals. Empowered individuals. You know, effective leaders are empowered individuals. What does that mean? That they are not just empty. Effective leaders are full of some things. There are things that other leaders have that effective leaders don't have. There are things that also people have that effective leaders don't have. So you need to find out, what is it that I am lacking? What is it that I need to improve upon? What is it that I need to move up to? What is it that I need to put away? You need to come to this point of knowing that effective leaders really are empowered individuals. It is when you empower yourself that you become relevant, you become useful, that you can meet challenges. It is when you empower yourself that you are ready to become a people's property. We're going to be looking at personality characteristics. You know, some of these things that I'm going to be mentioning, I am actually provoking you to go more into studies, do your own research, and specifically allow somebody to access you, to just deal with you a little bit. You know, self-judgment has reward. But when people judge you, they bring out something out of you that people are going to enjoy. So instead of you kicking out everything people say about you, it's not true, it's not good, it's not that, blah, 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 they hate me. Please stop that, because effective leaders are empowered individuals. And some of the things that will actually empower you, they're going to come from people who don't like you, and those who criticize you, and those who love you, and those who talk good about you, and those who talk ill about you. All of them, you need them. You need all of these people in your life. So the first thing we're going to be looking at in the personality characteristics of this empowered individual. Number one is dedication. Dedication. You know, sometimes you're going to rate yourself and believe that you are dedicated. You can actually score yourself high. You know, I'm a disciplined person. I am a committed person. I know what I'm doing. I know what not to do. I know when to do it. And I know where to do it. My friends are good. Blah, blah. All kinds of things have been said. But I'm actually here to help you, to tell you that when you keep scoring yourself as somebody who is doing well, you will never grow and become anything. So self-reflection is necessary for you to begin to come up to that place. And I want you to learn to punch yourself and wound yourself badly, that you're going to come out of that wound and become a healer. Because to deal with people is the highest form of job in this life that we live in. So first is dedication. How dedicated are you to your mission, to your vision, to your organization? How dedicated are you? Because these are characteristics of personality. And you're going to find somehow that even when you have a team, some outdo others. Why? It's because of their dedication. Some people will listen to the same lecture, listen to the same teachings, listen to the same principles, and when it comes to operation, you'll find out they can't do anything. They can't pull the reins. They cannot make things happen. Why? It's not luck, and it's not because they are privileged. It's simply because they have a particular aura of dedication. The second thing is persistence. You know, I don't know how I'm going to actually deal or speak about this persistence. That if there's anything I have seen in people that is making them to be inconsistent, is because they are not persistent. Some goals are never met. Some dreams are never met. Certain things that people set to achieve are never met because people cannot persist. Now, you cannot be a leader and believe that you are not going to be opposed. No. You can't be a leader and believe that somebody's not going to say things about you that will demoralize you and cause you to go back. It is not true. But if you are going to have this quality, that you are going to be a persistent person, you have to. Odds are going to come against you. The hurdles are going to be there. The oppositions are going to be there. Challenges are going to be there. People look at you and ridicule you. They will really make you lose your fire in your wings, that you're not going to fly anymore. But I'm telling you this, learn to be a person of persistence. Yes, listen and build yourself in this area, because without it, I really cannot see. You know, do you know what it means for a leader to wake up 4 a.m.? You know what it means. You mean it's luck to wake up 4 a.m.? Or it is a chance to be awake 4 a.m.? Or I'm anointed to wake up 4 a.m.? It doesn't take all of that. The only thing that makes people wake up 4 a.m. is persistence. They are dedicated to a cause, therefore lying down at that time, they are not going to be finding it easy. When your body is aching you because of yesterday's exploits, and then you are losing your strength and you're becoming fatigued, you don't have to follow that. The only antidote that goes with that is persistence. You know, I don't feel like, but I must get up. I am not, you know, sometimes you can fabricate sickness and tantalize yourself that you are not doing well, and lie down and be stretching, yawning. But you need to break up that and get up. Tell yourself, I am persistent. Don't say I'm going to be, no, personalize it. Just say, I am persistent. And so I don't need to lie down and keep lying down, because the more you lie down, the weaker you become. I hope you know that. And I know you have experienced it in your life. Now, when you are persistent, or when you persist on anything, you come to a place of what is called commitment. Now, commitment and dedication, they are not the same. They are not the same. They are not the same. You know, a simple story is that when you are going to eat or you want to prepare some omelette, you know, all you need is egg and some certain things. But you see, the chicken that laid that egg is alive. You know, so that's what's called an omelette. But you see, when you're going to have really some hamburgers and dog, whatever, the pig must die. One is committed, the other one is involved. So you have to look at that. You can't sit down and be thinking commitment is a 2 hours job. No. Commitment is not reading 2 pages in a book and thinking you are going to be doing something. Commitment is not listening to just 1.5 message and feel I can change the whole world. It's not like that. Commitment simply means putting yourself completely. You got to be involved. Mentally, spiritually, health-wise, your mindset and your strength physically. And also you have to gird all those 4 areas, because that is what it is. You know, the Bible has a very simple way. Paul was writing to his protege, and he said to him, I want you to be fervent. And you know, fervent is not to clench your fist when you're praying. That's not how to be fervent. To be fervent simply means that I am present, spirit, soul, and body. Yes, that's why you see people pray and sweat. It's because they are fervent. They are not committed, they are fervent. Their body is involved in the prayer, their soul is involved in the prayer, their spirit is involved in the prayer, and their strength. That's why they sweat. That's why they sweat. You know, you can go around like a very serious pseudo-Pentecostal person and just be taking steps and cutting them like you're doing cut steps, and you never sweat. You're just going to be doing, I confess, I profess, I do this, and then you go around easy. But when it comes to prayer, you must be fully involved and do the things that it is. So you must be committed. The next thing I want you to understand is self-motivation. This is huge. This motivation is huge. Why? Because nobody is there to be encouraging you. You know, when you are in your room alone and you begin to think about the vastness of your dream and your vision, you look at the hurdles that you're going to pass through, you look at the oppositions you're going to take, you look at what you need to do, the tumultuous resources that you do not have, and all that is against you. I'm telling you, it comes somewhere else in your life that you begin to say, oh no. That is why. So self-motivation, let me tell you this, is great. You can't make it you without self-motivation. Everybody will clap for you. Everybody will applaud you. Everybody will blow whistle for you. Everybody will say great things about you. If you don't learn how to say it to yourself, you will not. Self-motivation simply means everything is not working, but I'm hearing a sound inside of my spirit and my inner voice is saying, wake up, this is possible, it's doable, it can be achieved, you can pay the price, you can somersault this, you can overcome all of this. You must come to a place where self-motivation it is. Don't wait for somebody. You know, the complaint I hear, or the statements that are consistent with people who are not making it, is that there's nobody to encourage me. My God, who do you think is supposed to encourage you? No, just answer that question. You believe that, okay, you are doing something that everybody likes? No, some of the things you are doing, people hate it. Some of the things you are doing is intimidating other people. Some of the things you are doing is provoking jealous from people. Some of the things you are doing, somebody is even wishing you to die in the midst of doing it. So who do you wait to come and encourage you and say, wow, let there be fire in you. We are behind you. We are praying for you. No. And some of you who like words from external sources, the best word you're going to give is a positive word that comes from your spirit man and is going to make you to be on fire for the things that you really want to do. So think about self-motivation. In the scripture, the best leader and the prophet that ever lived and a political legend, David the king. What did he say? It is written in the book of life, which is the manual for living. He said, and David encouraged himself in the Lord. Yes, in himself, he encouraged himself. So learn from today. Don't wait for peppers. Don't wait for text messages, appreciations. Don't wait. They won't come. They will not come. Some will come in disguise of mocking. And then you don't need to have that one. But the best is going to come from you. Frustrations are in you. Motivations are in you. You choose a way to vent each one of them out. And I'm telling you, get those things that get you out of line and throw them away. What are you going to do? Motivate yourself. Tell yourself, I'm the world-class leader that ever lived. Tell yourself, I am the greatest person who can do the most impossible things in this life. Learn to do all of that. The next thing I want you to understand, when you motivate yourself greatly, this is what you're going to do. You're going to be self-responsible. So you have what is called self-responsibility. You know, we have this thing that is said self-management. Self-management is not managing any other person but you. And real great leaders are first people who lead themselves. They lead themselves to wake up, lead themselves to speak nice, lead themselves not to throw up their anger and blow the fuse. No. Self-management are people who control themselves. And I want you to learn self-responsibility. Don't be waiting for instructions. You know, I was not told to do anything. So that's why your hands are just tied and you are relaxed. No assignment was given to me. So you waste the whole day. Nobody is expecting anything from me. That is not a good thing. Self-responsibility simply means respond to the ability that is inside of you for doing something. So you need to create something that's not there. Find something that is in your spirit, bring it out, work on it. Learn to be responsible yourself, to yourself. That is something you are. When you are wrong, accept it. When you are wrong, accept it. Sometimes you just sit down and laugh over your wrongs because it will give you some new strength. Yeah, look at those mistakes. Just ask yourself, how come I did that stupid thing? It looks like it's not me. It contradicts who I am and what I believe in life. Learn to have all of this. Now we're going to be looking at when you deal with these things that I just mentioned, what is it expected of you again? We're going to be looking at the natural and learned competencies. You know, there are natural things that people are born with, which means you were born with it. And then there are things that after you are born, you learn. And all of them are competencies. There are people who are naturally just good. They are. Now, there are people who are real orators. They just have the power to speak. But you see, you can also learn communication. You can also learn skills for presentation. You can also learn and improve on that which is natural. So we develop it, we move it, and then we make it better. But you can also go to school. You go to school, sit down under somebody else and let somebody teach you. It's not everything that somebody's going to teach you. It's something that you don't have that somebody has. Humble yourself, be under a teacher, whether it's your grandchild. Go and sit down. Because what you don't know and your grandchild know, sit down and listen to those things, because they are all called learned competencies. Out of this, we're going to be looking at number one is education. Education. You know, you are educated, or you should be educated. Now, education, we are not born with it, actually. You know, there's a way children learn, and there's a way adults learn. You know, Nigeria have schools today that they don't differentiate them. When you take a man that is 50 years old and fix him in a class of a young boy who is 22, they're not going to be learning the same. And Nigerian universities, they don't even differentiate that. You are going to be finding out that some of the methods of teachings which are given unto us, you have the pedagogies. And then, what does that mean? Children learn very simple. Men don't. Now, when somebody is working and he has children with grandchildren and he needs to go to school and you want him to go and stay in hostels, hey, you know you are messing up something that man will become either a problem to the school or will just one day pack his things and come back home. That is what people don't understand. Now, and when people are behaving like this, we have problem upon problem, and then we don't know exactly what we're going to do. So I want you to understand that we are to have education, but what kind of education? And there are different kinds which we are not going to be mentioning for that. But I want you to understand you can improve your natural competencies through learning a different way of. People learn by doing. People learn by doing. People learn by making mistakes. People learn by corrections. People learn by also commitment. You learn. In fact, in life, whether you fail or not, you learn. If you succeed, you have learned. If you fail, you have learned. That is why both of them are equal. You know, but we have been taught that if you're wrong, they put a red cross against the answer you have given. And if you're right, they mark it right. So we are intimidated by crosses. You know, but life has a lot of them. As a good leader, you must go through so many wrongs to be able to come up to where you are. The second thing is skills. Skills are not something that you have been born with. No. All skills are learned. All skills are acquired. All skills are actually things that you have to learn by committing yourself to learn and come up from those areas. So there are what we call skills. And then talents. Now talents, they are naturally gifted. They are, you know, but you can improve on them. There are people whose legs are just, is run. Their legs, their feet is just to run. You know, but if you are going to run, you don't just carry bush and start running from jungle to jungle. No. That's why when they want to educate you and you have to add and earn what is called meaningful running, they give you a track. They give you your own. And they want you to stay in your lane. And they give you time at which to do that. So to increase the speed and meet up the target is something you learn. But you are already a runner. So, but you don't just run anyhow. When they just blow the whistle, you don't just go backwards. You go forward. So you need to understand that there's talents. There are people who naturally can curve things. They are sculptors. But you see, they need to also do it with meaning. There are people who are builders. They know how to, and they can come up with. So I don't want you to begin to mix talents and some things. No, you are born with it, but you also have to. And when you begin to read people who have talents, you're going to find out that talent is not enough, according to Dr. John C. Maxwell. Talent is not enough. What is it? Because there are talented people whose lives are completely a problem to the society. And so what you need to do is that your talents must be worked upon, improved, harnessed, and they must meet and become a blessing by conversion. So if we do that, you will have all of that. The next thing is abilities. Now, ability is actually defined. You know, that people say prosperity. You know, the Christians, they believe in prosperity. And prosperity simply means having God's ability upon your life to meet every need of humans, regardless of that, what that need is. So ability is an intangible thing. It's not something you see. It's an intangible thing. And when you work, improve, and hone that ability, you can meet the needs of people. That is why we can build a great ability, and you can become the best pilot in life. Yes, you can. But you can also choose not to, and you can become something otherwise. But abilities are given, and then abilities can be improved. They can be developed, and you can actually make the best out of your abilities. So now I'm talking to you about natural and learned competencies. The next one you're going to be looking at is strengths. You know, strengths might look like abilities, yes, but what is your strength and what is your weakness? If you are going to summarize in the whole of your life the strengths that you have, the abilities that you have, the weaknesses that you have, sometimes we call them shortcomings. Sometimes we call them, this is my challenge. I want you to know that strengths are in various kinds. There are people whose strength is good enough not to retaliate. So they don't know vengeance. Not that they are not hurting. They are hurting, but they don't know vengeance. There are people that they can never stand one insult. They will put their back down, roll their trousers, roll their and get into a fight. Why? It's like pragmatic. You just made us, before you know something has just happened. You are not supposed to do that. So there are strengths that will help you become a leader, and there are also weaknesses that will. Some people are great in timekeeping. Some people are great in meeting deadlines. Some people are great in having ideas. Some people are great working with other people. Some people are great having relationships. Some people are also great in making things and staying longer on a particular assignment until it is. Some people are so strong that they don't want to hear anything impossible. I want you to understand what is your strength. And you need to understand, because all of this come together to make up the best that we're looking for in what we call leaders. Well, now I want you to understand, we talk about characteristics, yes? Now these are natural and learned competencies. The next one you're going to be looking at with me is professional performance. You know, when you move from just the individual's characteristics, that you're going to be the empowered individual, you're going to find out natural and learned competencies. All of those two, they move you to number 3, which is professional performance. And you know, until you reach to this level, you are not yet going to become a very widely known person that is going to bless people and humans. So you need to know there are people whose gifts and callings and talents and education and whatever is not going to reach up to professional level. Yes. They are just going to know how to read and write, and they die in their village. That's actually what happened. They are going to be running, and they're overcoming every person when rain is coming, and they overcome everybody who's running and run to a shed. That's not 100 meters. You are not going to get any reward for that. That rain didn't beat you. That's okay. But you have to understand that there are people who move from village to cities, from cities to national figures or statues, and they become world icons. Why? It's because there is professionalism attached to it. You can actually learn to sew just your dress, and you can be sewing your dress. That's all. You know, but you cannot be a professional fashion designer. So I wanted to understand there are things we have to understand. You can lead your family, but it's obvious you may not lead your community. Neither are you going to lead your neighborhood. So, but when we are coming about professionalism, we are talking about leaving particular things behind because you have moved forward. And you remember the characteristics I told you, that is what is going to make you come to this level. You must learn to become a person who is dedicated and consistently doing that. That's why we have the persistence. That's why we have self-motivation. That is why we have self-responsibility. When you keep doing that, you will come to a place in life that you're going to have professional performance. So first is the performance. Look at it very well. You know, there are people in this life. Have you met people who, when they do something, you'll be wondering, where are they coming from? I mean, they will take something good and just do bad job on that thing. I mean, not to improve it, just to destroy everything. And have you seen also somebody take something that looks like it's great and make it greater? Performance, the level. Zig Ziglar wrote a book, Top Performance. I recommend you go get that book, and you're going to find out. The reason why some people are dismissed and replaced is because of performance. It's not in red. Not that people don't like you. That is what you are speaking as a mediocre. You know, the victim people, they just speak all the time. They give you reasons why they were moved from the office. They give you reasons why they were removed from job. They give you reasons why they didn't pass the exam. All kinds of things are happening. But I want you to understand very well that you have to check your performance. And I'm begging you, can you look at what you are doing? Can people accept it to be great? Can people look at it and say, "Ow, this is great work"? Can people be surprised what you are doing? It's like it contrasts you. It's like it is a contradiction to who when people see you. Have you seen people who don't look like what they are producing? What they are producing, the performance is so high that when you look at the person and look at the product, you're going to say, no, it can never be done by this person. Because the product is so high. It is in quality, in excellence, in precision, in accuracy. It's so high that it doesn't look like this is the person who is doing all this kind of. I used to make this jokingly. When you listen to somebody sing, let's take singing. The person is singing, and all you have heard is just the voice. You have never seen the person in person, physically. You have not even seen the person, either on a video or whatever, pictures. No, it's just the voice. And when you begin to hear people sing, your mind begins to curve the picture of that people. This person singing, the voice is great. So the person maybe need to be tall, or need to be fair, or need to be skinny, or need to be... there's a picture, because you always have to rhyme the voice with what you are thinking. Then all of a sudden they say, the person is coming for a concert behind your dormitory. And you decide, my God, I need to go there. And you invited a lot of people. Then the person comes up. You see him. He completely is not what you were thinking. And then you say, oh my God, I didn't believe that this man can do this thing. Why? Because a lot of us, we check performance with the physical physique of the person. And so I want you to understand, learn to do every work, learn to do it. Martin Luther King Jr. used to say to the black Americans during the time of the crisis, he will always say to them, if you are hired to sweep the streets, he says, sweep it as world-class leader. Sweeping, sweeping. You know, when we do this in Nigeria, you know, even you know how you sweep your room. You sweep, and sweep under, and then you sweep under. Then did you clean your room? Yes. How did you sweep it? World class? No. You know, that is the whole thing. So I want you to learn. Don't do things and be saying, I have tried. Don't say, I have tried. No. Because I have tried is a weak language for people who are not good enough. It's not, I have tried. No. Tell yourself, I will do all it takes. That's what my professor used to tell me. He said, do all, take all it takes. Don't do something and somebody will come and be correcting major corrections. That you have done a work and 80% is correction. That is not work. It's never a work. So take that one out. The next thing is leadership is also performance. Leadership is performance. Be a leader. I am not saying that you are going to actually make everybody smile, but I'm telling you, even if they are crying because of you, they will really know that actually they didn't do something well to deserve your excellence. That's the point I'm saying. But you cannot do anything from a low level of performance. You just, no matter what's going to happen, come to the place where leadership is great. So how do you become a great leader? First is by sacrifice. You have to you have to sacrifice. Number two, make sure that people are your focus. Not money. Not money. I'm telling you this, not money. Money can never be a focus. It's a tool. It's a tool. But people that you are leading are your focus. Am I making them happy? Am I changing their lives? Some people are not going to be happy because you are changing their lives, and it is not good, or it is not easy for people's lives to be changed. I'm telling you. Do you know what it means to be addicted to mediocre? And then you are just operating in mediocrity. Do you know what it means to do work just like that? You know, we call it jaga like that. Do you know what it is? But when you begin to do something great, everybody begin to identify. Your leadership is going to leave mark behind you. It's either it is a good thing or it is a bad thing. It is a bad comment or it is a very great comment. Your leadership performance must be great. See how Nelson Mandela did what he did. And when he was coming out from prison, come and see nations. My God. Nations. Especially the ones that came up with the idea of apartheid. They all came down to South Africa. One man. But you're going to find strips. People climb trees. They climb high, tall buildings to see Nelson Mandela. One man for whole nations. As a matter of fact, they came to a place, they said, look, Nelson, you are a citizen of every country. Glory. Citizen of every country. Why? Leadership performance. Leadership performance. Find a need and meet it. Put your knees down. Get your hands soiled. Let your feet go into and find something to make somebody happy throughout. Let somebody live with your mark on their lives. Not on a negative point, but on a positive point. Customer focus is performance. You know, all of this is professional performance. Customer focus. Think about that. You know, this is Christmas time. I'm actually, it's season for Christmas. And you know, this is the time tellers and customers fight. Fight. You didn't sew my dress. You didn't sew my children's dress. Fight. Why? Because these tailors and fashion designers, they will carry plenty work and they will not do the work. And then they will lock the shop and run away. Lock the shop and run away. They just run away Why? Because they cannot meet the demand. They have eaten the money. They are not having money again. They have not gotten other people to come and do this thing. That is. And before you know, they are mixing people's clothes for another person. Measurements are not carried out the way it's supposed to be in a meticulous form. Why? Customers are not their focus. It's money. I'm telling you, it's money. Now, you're going to find mechanics today. They want to do everything to fix cars. And then when you just take a ride somewhere, you find out that your tire is out because they were in a hurry to fix the next car. All of these things are things that we are. But you see, to be customer focused, that's going to be. And let me tell you, somebody who was customer focused is called Jesus Christ. Customer focused. He came for the whole world. He came for people. He focused to the point that he died. He died excellently, though brutal. He died not leaving anything that will make it not to be a perfect sacrifice. He died looking at the customers, even though he knew that these people don't understand. He even forgave them and say, for they do not know what they are. That has been a perfect person. He healed them, met their needs. He will open the blind eyes, heal the sick, raise the dead. He causes them to understand between good and bad. One man lived and people begin to follow. Till today, there's no any other person that has people focused like Jesus Christ. Till today. That is why his sacrifice, it is just one sacrifice. But for years to come, this sacrifice is effective. You are not going to hear this has expired like drugs in Nigeria. No, they are not like that. This is a rebranded sacrifice. We don't have anything like that. You know, he is not, you cannot add anything to him. He did it because he wanted men. And when he began to say, he made a statement in his manual. What did he say? He said, I have come to give you life, and I have come to give you in abundance. In abundance. Not just shrieky. No, in abundance. That is one person with a customer focus for people. He said, the life that I give you, it is forever. No, it is forever. It is forever. You know, Nigeria, you can take a Toyota part and fix it for Honda. And then they will say it also goes. They can take wood and put it inside clay and build a pot. You know, they will tell you it works that way. But you see, Jesus Christ knows that these things we are mixing here is what he told Daniel. And he said, this is rubbish. The time will come that wind will blow and all these things are going to be in pieces because you don't combine things like this. You know what I want you to understand? If you are a person who customers are waiting for, surprise them this year. Make it from your life that no customer will cry in your name. You will never disappoint. Let me tell you this. If one customer leaves you, 9 people will follow. That's the power of one man. One man is to power 9. And so if one person leaves your shop, 9 other people will follow. That's how you are. Then before you know, you say, I don't understand my business. I'm not going to open the door. Why? Because customers are not coming. You chase them away. You chase them away because of your attitude, because of your lack of focus, and then you also don't know how to operate in a professional manner. Yes, these are times that you actually have to send greeting cards. Oh, we don't have them now. Okay, so what's going to be now? Text messages. You're going to design some flexes and send them to them and say, happy, compliment of the season. I want to thank you from January to now. You patronized me. You have been good. I have you. Your children and this are doing very fine. In fact, this is the time also to start reducing the charges you have, to appreciate them and say, I might not give you a complete thing, but because of this, I want to reduce the charges. It's supposed to be 5,000. Now you're going to pay 3,000. Why? Because you are my focus. Without you, this business is not going to go. Don't tell me that it's your skill. It's never your skill. It is your customers that are making you. So they can actually destroy you and they can also make you. So I want you to learn to become customer focused. How are we going to behave in a professional manner? The other one is teamwork. Teamwork, oh my God. This thing that I'm just mentioning, there are things that have destroyed great companies. They have this, oh my, great companies, great relationships, great people. They have just died because we cannot put these things together. Come to think about teamwork. You remember what I said about your strengths? Now, there are people who can never work with any other person. They can never work with any other person. They are very nice. They are learned. They have abilities and skills and talents. But they can never work with any other person. Why? It's because that is something they need to challenge. Once you group them, they will isolate themselves and go away. They will go away with their skill, go away with their ideas, go away with their expertise, go away with their excellence. They don't just like people. What is that? It's not a gift. Don't be looking at it as I am being given the gift of aloneness. You are not. That is not a gift. It is a problem and you need to face it. And this is why I ask you, find your friends, find people who believe in you and you believe in them. Ask them, how have you observed me? Am I a person that avoid people when it comes to teamwork? Teamwork has to do with team spirit. And until all of us come together, you can never be a good person. Nobody is having all. So I need you, you need me. Think about how many teams have you destroyed? How many assignments have you left undone? What kind of projects you were supposed to have done with other people that you didn't do with them? Why? Because you slowed down the process, you slowed down their coming, you slowed down the deadline, and then finally everybody began so upset that they left. You must, and I say this, one of the things you're going to do with team spirit is to learn. Learn. Work with people who are completely opposite you. Learn it. Get yourself into it. I don't like the way he talks to me, but we're going to work together. I don't like the way he even eats. You know, there are people who, when they are eating, you will run away. You know, so don't just say, hey, okay, no, stay there. Look at them, watch them, let them eat, and let them train you patience, long-suffering, and temperance, because you're also going to find out that kind of. Sometimes you see my team is not dressing like I'm dressing. They don't talk the way I talk. They don't reason the way I reason. They are slow. All of that is to make you become a team. So I want you to actually begin to embrace a teamwork and a team spirit. And the first person to deal with is you. Learn to be and learn to work with. We have always said that you have to be multifaceted if you are going to live in the 21st century, because everybody's going to come in. Now, teamwork might not be that you are all Nigerians. Most likely, that is why your team is working. When they bring somebody from Ghana, and somebody from Kenya, and somebody from Russia, and somebody from India, and they put you together you will run away. You just run away. Because you are acclimatized with the Nigerian way of doing things. Like that, fast like that, with shortcuts and corners and all kinds of things like. But you meet people who they don't know this kind of thing, kickbacks and all, they don't know it. So how are you going to work with such people? That is the whole thing. You remember all our leaders in this country, which I know you know. When they're in Nigeria, they are lawless. When they cross Nigeria, they become law-abiding citizens. This is the shock of this country. They are behaving fine. They drive, they follow traffic lights. Yes. You cannot go to London as Buhari and be saying, who gave birth to you? You are doing it in UK. You think it's Nigeria. It's not Nigeria. So you need to know this. So you have to open up and then mix up with all kinds of people. Yes. And then some of you are gender biased. Once they tell you to work with women, it's like they have disgraced you. You know, and I'm wondering, what are you thinking about your life? That you can't work with women. What is your problem? Is it your religion that make you become so stupid like that? No. You have to learn to work with. Learn with to work with those who are married, those who are not married, those who are divorced, those who are not divorced, those who are polygamous, those who drink and shark. Learn to work with them. Because you are a leader. And it is only in those things that you do that you can throw light and people will see how good that you're going to be. Philosopher Edwin Uzzah made this statement. He said, don't ever join a group that you are not going to change. So the reason for team is an opportunity for me to get into a cycle of people and change their ways. What a great thing to do. So I want you to begin to learn how to do that. Then the next thing, they are just two put together: creativity and innovation. They work together. Yes, when you are creative, it's simply because you are coming from an innovative spirit. And when you want to innovate, you also have to be creative. So one is actually to take something that is existing and make it better by innovation. The other one is something that's never been there. You just create. All of them. And all of this work on a professional. Actually, what do we call fashion? You know, I still say this again, that Edwin Uzzah also defined this when they asked him, what is fashion? And then he said that fashion is a collective ideas of fools. So when you begin to look at that, collective ideas of what? Yeah, and you know, we have not seen. That's why some of the dresses people are wearing today, instead of people looking at them as fashion, they are using it as they are saying religious dresses. Yeah, if somebody is going to wear something that looks like a pant but it's a mini skirt and it's just very close, what is it? Not a fool that has designed that idea? I mean, it's not religion. It has nothing to do with religion. But you see, we brought all those things. You know, you are dressing like you are not a Christian. You are dressing like you are this. I mean, that's the whole thing. Now, there are people who have done all the things they want to do in their lives, but it is not. So I want you to understand, you must show innovation. Great, and you have to. The second thing also, you must create. Don't live where you are the same. Change some things. Rearrange some things. Fix some things. Bring in some things. Take some things out. You know, you can even paint. You can even create something, design, make it feel different. All the kinds of foods we're eating now in restaurants, let me tell you this, is all the foods we have at home. Yes? They just decide to innovate them. While you are cooking them the way you got them, they are making them better in the restaurant. Is it not the chicken you have? Huh? Chicken burger. Is it not the one? But it's because you are not using the flour. When you want to do chin-chin, you do your own chin-chin, and then you leave the chicken somewhere naked like that. But what happened? So they carry those things and put in. Meat pie. Is it not meat pie? Meat with some things that you have in the store, in the kitchen, and then they mix those things and carry flour and cover them. Can't you do it at home? But it's innovated. So you come to that area, and then we have some peanuts. What did they do with them? It's still the same granite that you just sit on a stone and eat them like that. And somebody will also, no, I want to take my time. They take the shell out, then they begin to work on, remove the tester. What happened to them? They bring something that before you know, it is the best. And then we go and buy. So check everything. Just check it. You're going to find out that everything we are buying anywhere else, we have it at home. It's only that's not. Can you take black, white, red, yellow, green, purple, everything and make a dress? What is it called? It's a dress, but it's an innovative dress. Creative one. Design. So somebody will say, I want your shoes and your trouser and everything you're wearing right from your head, from your hair to be the same color. They give you become. Is it fashion? Somebody just sat down and did that one. So if you like it, go for it. If you don't like it, you go create your own. The day you put tree on top of your head and you are going around, people will never call you designer. That's not going to be. So there are some things that when you do, they reveal how foolish you are. Then instead of becoming a blessing to the whole world. I wanted to understand that those are the things. I wanted to understand people matter. People matter. And this quote I'm going to read you is also from Secretary of State Colin L. Powell. Now, I have read so much about Colin Powell. And to me, obviously, it became one of mine. And I started asking questions. Have you seen our Nigerian generals? Our Nigerian generals, Nigeria. Wow. I'm telling you. Once they retire them, that's all. They become president of APC or PDP. They are putting their heads again back to come back. But I have read the American generals, the SEALs, the Rangers. It's like everybody wrote a book about leadership. Nothing. In all their fight, whether they were on foreign lands or they were to have a special assignment like the SEALs that came to destroy Osama, most of them, once they retire from military, they write books on leadership. Obasanjo wrote My Journey. So I'm reading through My Journey. 3 classic books that he has written. Most of them, because Buhari will not say this is the book I have written. That's where we were having this problem. Didn't write nothing. But he is. Maybe when he retires, he will do that. How many generals are in this country? But you see, these people know leadership, and the best leadership in America came from business owners and from military men. Yes, I have read plenty of them. Now, this is what Colin Powell said. Organization doesn't really accomplish anything. Plans don't accomplish anything either. And then he moved on to say, endeavors succeed or fail because of the people involved. Yes. That's why he said people matters. When you look at the secret of Pauline Cowell, you're going to find out he said that in all his life, when he started valuing people, that was when he started leading well. Yes. And when he was about dying, they interviewed him before he died. And they say, well, you were Secretary of State, and well, you were the defense, whatever, the person who led America. He said, at a time, I came to understand that I can never issue a command to my subordinates. And he said, I lived with all these ranks. He said, I have never commanded my troops. I tell them what to do, and they do it. And it's our own. Even if they are not wearing their uniform, they will want to tell you, you don't know who you're talking to. First of all, they will tell you, I'm a soldier. Just to let you know, in case you are not correct. What am I saying? This is what he said. Organizations don't really accomplish anything. Plans don't also accomplish anything either. And then he said, endeavors succeed or fail because of the people involved. What is it that you are involved and it's not succeeding? What is it? Yeah, because there is something you are doing and it's not succeeding. It's either your family is not succeeding the way it's supposed to be, or your organization, or your church, or your business, or your school, or your profession, or the place of your work is not succeeding. What is the problem? The problem is a person is needed to make that thing work. Because organizations in themselves, they are right. That is why the Constitution of Nigeria can be right. It can be right, but it will take good people to make it work. It is. Nigeria as a country is a good country. It's the people that are involved in Nigeria, that we call them Nigerians, that are making us to run away. And really, we really want to run away. Now, there's nothing that has happened that has actually affected the whole people in the whole world like Nigerians. We like flying. We like flying, traveling. who to this place. I am here, I am here. We are going for this. Now, 3 years now. 3 years now, people are not traveling because there's something called COVID. There's another thing, Omicron. There's something, Delta variant. Everything is coming up. They are canceling. And we are angry. Angry because we lack journeys. Because that is what we believe that happened. So I want you to actually think about these things, and then it will be the best. So please listen to me once again as I close on this, because the one we're going to be taking, it will be something. I said there are natural and learned characteristics, which is education, skills, talents, abilities, and strengths. And I also told you that there are personality characteristics. You have to go home. You have to sit and think about these things, because of course that is. What do we have? Dedication. What is that? Persistence. What is the next thing? Commitment. And then you have to talk about self-motivation. And then you have also what is called self-responsibility. When you put all of these things together, it will lead you to professional performance. Which means, first is the performance. Is your performance professional? Do you just do things jagga like that and leave them? Haphazard. You don't complete. You don't clean up. You don't tidy up. You don't show professionalism in whatever you do. How is your leadership like? Are you leading well? Are you allowing yourself to be challenged so that you know exactly what to do? Then we talk about customer focus. Are your customers going to say, ever since I met you, I have never been disappointed? And they will tell the story because they are your publicity. They are your social media. They are the ones who are going to announce your entrance and your exit. And I want you to also understand, think about having to work with team. And we say that a team is made up of a different group of people who each one of them is an expert in something else. You don't just bring somebody and fix into a team and he's doing nothing and you say we're a team. No, every team has something to do. The Nigerian footballers, they are a team because one can do this, one can do that. You don't just go there, sit down and say everything you say, I agree with it. Everything you want to do, I agree with it. I agree with your ideas. You don't just succumb like that as if you have been under Durex. You don't do that. A team is made up of people who each has something to supply to make that thing work. And then I talked about creativity and innovation. So your mind and your spirit must come to a place where you don't in any other way do anything less than that. And we ended up by a quote of one of the best empowered individual that ever lived. And it is that organizations doesn't really accomplish anything. Plans don't accomplish also anything. And then either. So some people believe that it is plans that are not working. It's not plans. Some people say it's you lack strategy. You can have good strategy in place and have fools gather around that strategy. Nothing happens to it. Seriously. Now you know, some time ago the Japanese were saying that we should borrow them Nigeria. I mean, I know some of you may remember that we should borrow them Nigeria just for 6 months. 6 months, that they will take us to Japan and they will bring themselves to Nigeria, and after 6 months they will change. I said, don't do that. Because in 3 days Japan will be like Nigeria. Yes, I mean you can see this thing. What is happening? You see our leaders, they will live here and go and be crying and borrow. That's why Sani Abacha till today is honored. That most of the projects he executed, he never took money from anywhere. And you know, he was one president that never traveled out of this country. Never traveled out of this country. But you see, when he was there, we also screamed, shouted, and insulted him. Now, he is not, we are saying. So Nigeria, let's begin to look at what is going on now. Please, let's begin to look at it. And I want you to understand, here it is that all endeavors, the success of all endeavors, or the failing, is because of the people that are involved. Nigeria is a bad country because of the people involved. And it is because of the people involved in leadership. If there's creativity and innovation, a lot of things will. And what a great land that we have, but things are not going. So with this, I just want you to understand this is where we are for now. When we come back, we're going to be having what we looked at, and it is going to be something you will never want to. So I want to say thank you, keep doing the best, and keep being strong. Thank you.